Champion. It's the one word every athlete wants to be remembered as. You can't expect to be a champion just because you play the game. You can't expect a championship to be handed to you. Nah. You gotta fight. You gotta drive.
Green drops it to Butler, and Butler is on the board. Muhammad Amin got a hand on it.
You gotta want it every single night, every single game.
Butler could finish. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up off glass and in.
You can't wait for it.
And it's Kevin Green in the corner for three. That is good.
You gotta go get it. You gotta go after it.
Throws it out to Denzel Yard for three. It's good. It's good.
And when you get to that moment, that championship game,
Pump fakes, dribble drive, Kevin Green, layup, great decision by Kevin Green.
you gotta take it and play like it's the last game of your entire life.
Norman with the ball.
You finish what you started.
Time is running. Time is running. They're trying to run a play for Kevin Green. Loman with the ball.
You finish what you started.
Kevin Green with three. Oh, it's good! It's good! Kevin Green for three.
When that clock hits zero, that final buzzer goes off,
Newman wins the championship. Newman wins the championship. Newman wins the championship.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Miranda Center. My name is Christian Aluzio, alongside my partner, Kai Williams. We have got a good one for you. Kai, it is the CSAC semifinal. Newman Cabrini, what a rivalry. I'm too excited, too nervous for this game. But an absolute, just the best game probably we've ever seen here.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's a game that we've been looking forward to here since our time at Newman, it's definitely this one. We saw a shootout last week, and I can't imagine what this one's going to be like.
This, and the matchup, the biggest matchup that we're going to see tonight, Darian Barnes, Tyheem Monroe.
That's right. Both averaging a double-double. I mean, both are the best players on our team. Last time they were in the Miranda Center, Tyheem Monroe went off for 25 and 13 rebounds.
Wow.
So, I mean, and we'll touch more on as we go, but the excitement at the Miranda Center tonight is unbelievable.
And you see the crowd starting to funnel in. You see on your screen behind us, we got the student section behind us.
We do.
It's going to get rowdy in here. You're going to see a lot of good reason. The semifinal game. The other game being taken place tonight is going to be Gwinnett Mercy and Rosemont as well on the men's side. We'll also keep you updated on the Newman University women's basketball team. They're playing Marywood tonight at Marywood, and we'll keep you updated with those scores and the rest of the CSAC scores throughout this night. And you see on the TV here on your screen, you got the matchup with Barnes and Monroe. You can see that, and you just look at that.
Yeah,
Monroe, 18 and 15.
The Monroe only a sophomore and averaging 20 and 15. It's unbelievable. And the key thing is going to be he got very physical with Barnes in the second half of the game last week, and Barnes kind of shut down. I talked to Barnes this week. He said he's going to be much more physical on defense. He said he will not get over 80 points.
Wow. Well, last time it was over
100. So we'll
some points, almost 200
right.
points.
But you got this is the best defense in the CSAC of the night, so you got to trust him.
We're going to go down to the floor for the national anthem and the honoring of America and the starting lineups for both teams. All right, everybody, we're going to go through the starting lineups for you right now, and as they announce these players, Kai, we're going to go through, and you hear it right now. Ivan Robinson, great point guard for this team.
Actually, I had a lot of questions coming in. Will he be able to also a great point guard from a year ago? Phenomenal passer, and it really takes care of the ball. And here's a guy right here, Ace Henry, they just announced, shooting 41% from three this year, and at the last time two teams faced off here.
And you had Tymee Monroe just come out, and Jair Green, the two studs for this team, really.
Right. And, I think another key for Cabrini's success was in that second half of the last time these two teams met, they really slowed down the ball. We've known this whole season that Newman is not a half-court, offensive team. Cabrini really slowed the game down, didn't let Newman, get on a fast break often, and the score reflected it.
And now you got Newman's lineup coming out, Denzel Yard.
Right, great senior leadership, a great point guard, and can absolutely sky out of the gym. And this kid right here, Tyre Hudson, we talk every game we do, one of the fastest players I've ever seen at this level.
Yep. And Butler, very physical presence as well underneath, rebounding. He's second in points at 16.5 per game. He gets also there, Darian Barnes, to be spotlighted.
Right, Darian Barnes, and we after talking to him earlier, he said he needs to be a lot more physical in the post this week, and that was and he started to get it at Immaculata their last game this week. So, 5 starters, that's the best 5 they can put on the floor, and they've really started to mesh together, and it's all came together for this game, so let's see how it works.
So for your Cabrini Cavaliers, the visiting team here in the Miranda Center, in the semifinal game, we have number 3, Ivan Robinson, number 4, Ace Henry, number 5, Tymee Monroe, number 21, Jair Green, and number 32, Jimmy Robinson. And for the home Knights, it's number 2, Denzel Yard, number 3, Tyre Hudson, number 15, Darian Barnes, and number 32, Deshaun Lohman.
And that's a guy we didn't even talk about, Deshaun Lohman. Wow, you got new gold-plated shoes we have here for Deshaun Lohman tonight. But it's a great senior leader, averaging 18 points. Really changed his game offensively. Went from a driver, now more of a shooter, but can also still drive and can finish with both hands, which we will see tonight.
So here we go. We're about to jump. It's Monroe and Barnes. These two teams played a week ago exactly today. And it was a good game up until halftime, and then after that it kind of got away from Newman a little bit. But again, everyone remembers, as you saw in that pregame video there, last year Cabrini and Newman in the championship game went into overtime, and Newman came out victorious, and they will win the tip underway.
So, like we touched on the pregame, the matchup to look at right here is Monroe and Barnes right here down the low post.
This is Jair Green on Deshaun Lohman. Out to Denzel Yard. They try to go to Barnes. Barnes inside. Barnes lost the handle, and it's picked up by Monroe. And it's Cabrini going the other way.
There's a lot of contact there in that place, so maybe we'll see a tough fought game tonight if the referees let it go that way.
Up top, Jimmy Robinson. And this is Green, guarded by Butler. I think he traveled. But hold on, we got a foul now. I thought he traveled before.
Yeah, I thought we did too. Maybe he was looking at his shoes. I'm telling you, those shoes are so bright. I don't know if we can get a shot at Deshaun Lohman's shoes, but those things are unbelievable.
So that's of the game, and it's on Newman. This is Monroe on Barnes. Monroe driving off glass and got it around the outstretched arm.
That was a very nice move, but not an aggressive defense right there by Barnes.
This is Butler down the lane. He's fouled into the line. He'll get 2 free throws.
So, this game's been fast-paced like we talked about before. This is definitely Newman's game, but Cabrini has to know that was their success last time, was really slowing this game down.
So James Butler at the line with 2 free throws, and he's got the first.
He'll take a walk in between every free throw. He's not afraid. We've seen him walk out to half court sometimes.
As the people here from the Newman University campus, parents, and continue to funnel in here in the Miranda Center. See the student section in yellow behind us. 3 ball. No. And this is Tyre Hudson coming the other way now.
And they'll look to push.
Hudson drops it off. It's Butler. Butler could not finish that time. It's Green, and now Cabrini looking to run. This is Robinson. Trying to get it inside. Might have got kicked by Butler. No call. This is Lohman. Lohman driving left hand. He got it in.
That's what we talked about. Deshaun Lohman, one of the best finishers on this Newman Knights team, and that ability to finish with the left is one of his best features.
Here's Green. Up top, Tymee Monroe, 18-footer. Over the outstretched arm of Barnes. Butler almost lost the rebound, and he did, and it's going to go back to Cabrini.
Well, that's not out of Monroe's range. We've seen him hit that shot time and time again, and that's also another thing about it. These big men can shoot the ball.
And you saw in the last game with Barnes, he in the first half especially, he definitely shot that jump shot and kind of shied away from it in that second half. As Jimmy Robinson with a missed three.
I'll tell you what, I have seen the Newman Knights really focus on boxing out opportunities. You know, Cabrini hasn't even been able to get a rebound so far because of the boxing out. We haven't seen that lately.
Lohman driving, lost the handle, and the chase is on for the ball. It's picked up by Deshaun. Here is Barnes. Barnes, right hand, and got it.
Right. Notice on that, the contact, he didn't fade away. We've seen that in the previous games that in the down low in this offensive game, but really stayed in there.
The Knights up 5-2 early. Jair Green, skip pass over to the corner. Robinson, a head fake. Gets by Hudson. Robinson. Butler did not get a piece of it, but did enough. On the shot, here comes Denzel Yard the other way. Yard to the paint. Euro step and a charge. Good defense there by Cabrini. So that's Denzel Yard's first team foul, or first personal foul. It's a second team foul for Newman. Robinson drops to Ace Henry and back up to Jimmy Robinson the third. Jair Green.
Seen on this side of the Miranda Center stand so far this season.
As I expected to get a little bit more crowded in here as the night goes on. Monroe's going to inbound with 14 seconds on the shot clock. It's Ivan Robinson. Guarded by Yard. Robinson will take a three. Off the back rim, offensive rebound. Long one to Jimmy Robinson. Ace Henry, he is blocked by Butler. Here comes Deshaun Lohman, 3-on-1 developing. The lob, and he could not get it down. Here comes Green. And Cabrini the other. Henry for three. No, off the front rim. Long rebound goes out to Deshaun Lohman, and the fast pace continues. Lohman to the rim. Got it!
One of the best finishers in the CSAC. Deshaun Lohman, excellent. Can get to the basket whenever he wants.
And a technical foul being charged. I'm not sure who they're going to get. It looks like it's going to be on Newman, though. I think it was Tyre Hudson with the tech. I'm not sure what was said. Couldn't get ears over there, but no, they called it on Barnes. I'm not sure what happened.
And, after talking to coaches, one thing we didn't pick up on last time during the game was how much words were being exchanged on the floor, and that's what got Coach Rillo teed up. So they said they really talked about it practice, really keeping your calm and everything, but that's not likely to see a technical foul here in the first half.
So Robinson goes 2 for 2 at the line, and a 3-point lead. Newman still hanging on here early. 16:43 to go in the first half. Semi-final round of the CSAC men's playoff championship here. Jair Green working on Butler, and he's stripped.
Watch the speed.
Here comes Hudson. Hudson, layup.
I think he just covered the whole floor there, and
much faster than we could do it. Underneath, Monroe. He is doubled. Up top, Jimmy Robinson, head fake. Steps in just beyond the free throw line and got it.
Very nice.
Denzel Yard walks it across. And that one is mishandled, but kept in bounds there by Hudson. Here's Barnes. Barnes can shoot it from out there, and he hits.
That's something that he started to show us here in the recent games. He struggled a little bit last game against Immaculata, but he does have that ability to hit that shot. And he seems to love that fadeaway at the top of the key.
Got a hand on it. Newman with the steal. Long pass up ahead. Yard one-on-one with Robinson. Left hand and put it in.
We talked about it. Newman's best offense is their defense. They promised. They said they were going to show up defensively, and they have so far tonight.
Here's Monroe. Monroe, skip pass over. Jumper in the corner, no good. Barnes got it. Barnes sat on the ball, having trouble with it. Here comes Lohman. Splits two defenders. Lohman finds Yard. Newman's going to slow it down here, try to get it inside. Actually, it's Hudson. That was Butler, Butler. And a timeout, full timeout taken by Coach Tim McDonald in his second season as the Cabrini head coach, and Kai so far 15-6 Newman. They look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Newman's looked great defensively. Only about 6 points in 6 minutes. I mean, that's awesome.
Doing a really good job so far, and defensively, we're going to go over to our sideline reporter, Duncan Ballara, and he's going to have a couple of his words on the sideline. Duncan.
Yeah, guys, this game's moving really fast. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 60-point half this time around. But Newman's got to keep it up. Second half, last game, they slowed down and it bit him in the butt. But from this game.
All right, thanks, Duncan. So, Kai, first time out of the game, and honestly, I thought it was going to be a track meet like it was, but it's honestly surprisingly at a slower pace than it was.
Well, I'll tell you
last
Wednesday.
I
think it is that Cabrini defensively has really given up some driving lanes. I mean, we've seen how many layups so far for Newman?
Easy layups,
and that's something I'm sure that they saw on film, because last week I thought they settled for a little too many outside shots. They didn't really have their shot. They're not that. They can shoot the ball. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But their bread and butter is getting to the basket. And, Tyre Hudson, one of the best drivers, and Deshaun Lohman, two great guards that can get to the rim and finish with both hands, and they shoot phenomenally from the line. So, I mean, that's going to be something that we're going to see a lot of tonight.
So it's going to be Cabrini ball out of the timeout. 14:57 to play. It's going to be Ivan Robinson walking it across. Cabrini in the black going from right to left on your screen. Is Jair Green up top. The drive. Charity got the roll. Long pass up ahead. Butler right at Monroe. Monroe got a piece of it. Here comes the Cavaliers the other way. Robinson. Robinson is blocked by Barnes. Here comes Hudson now. Hudson to Lohman for three. No.
It's a rare miss there for Lohman from three. Really turned himself into a shooter this year. Shooting over 40% from three.
Green. Good pass underneath. The finish was not there, though, and it's Newman going the other way. Slowly. It's Darrell Bagwell with a miss.
I'm surprised that Newman's slowing the pace down here.
Well, it's interesting. You see Cabrini and a man-to-man here. Jumper in the corner. In and out.
I'm going to look for the Cavaliers to really get Taheem Monroe involved here in the low block.
Robinson over a yard. Yes.
Robin, that's why you got to respect him from the outside, and that's why this, the penetration kick out is so successful for Cabrini, because you got to respect him shooting.
There's Tyre Hudson. 16 to shoot for Lohman. Hudson driving left. Hudson at 9. Lobs it over the top to Barnes. Barnes, point blank, miss. The tip could not go as Monroe corrals a miss. And the Cavaliers the other way.
I'm gonna look for Barnes' body language this game to stay positive. I know that's one thing I talked to him about, is being so negative. He's gonna hear that one.
Yep. Robinson missed everything on that long-range jump shot, and it'll go back to Newman. 15-10, they lead. 13:03 to play. The championship game of the CSAC will be held on Saturday, February 27th. Where it's at is to be determined, depending on what happens tonight with the two games being played. Again, Gwinnett Mercy playing Rosemont. Left side of the bracket, and they got a foul on the drive attempt there. No free throws, as we got a game's first sub for Newman.
Here's a guy in Tony Park we haven't talked about. I mean, another phenomenal three-point shooter for the Knights, shooting 37% from three. A key addition for this team in the second half.
Lohman over the yard. Floats it in. Barnes taking it right at the rim. The reverse layup. No. Could not get his own miss.
He's being a lot more physical down there, though. So, I think we're going to start seeing some points fall for him.
This is Monroe. And we got a whistle there by Deshaun Lohman. So that's going to be Newman's fourth foul. This is Monroe on the baseline, working on Barnes. Monroe off the glass and in.
Now, you see how easily Monroe just pushed Barnes towards the basket. And he's not doing it in a way that's going to get him an offensive foul. He's very subtle, and that's what we talked about. He had 20, 23, and 21 last game, and it was the quietest I've ever seen.
This is Yard driving. Yard right into. Second time Yard called for the charge.
Well, I think he was a little out of control there on his drive to the basket. Don't look for Yard to start shooting the ball from deep a little bit.
He can shoot it from three.
He certainly can.
Yard at 34% on the season from three. And now we get a whistle as the officials trying to discuss what happened here. I'm not sure what the call is.
Right.
Robinson walks it in. Ivan Robinson guarded by.
Look for Monroe to get a touch on the low block. Only got 2 points so far tonight.
Backdoor. Bagwell, layup. Got it, and it's a 1-point game now.
And Bagwell's a guy that can really shoot it too from deep. Last game we saw him make 4 threes last game. I thought really impressed with him how he played the other night.
On the women's side, Newman trails Marywood 15-12 in the second quarter with 8 minutes left.
That's going to be a tough game for them, to match up defensively.
Hudson, floater, left it a little short. Ball's tipped, controlled by Cabrini, and a travel there by Charity. Newman.
Tell you what, this might be the first, college basketball so far this year at the Miranda Center.
I mean, you see it pretty much every year when they, hit the CSAC playoffs, but to be in the Miranda Center for a playoff game against Cabrini is pretty, it's something here. Butler, the drive, left hand, and James Butler having a pretty good first half.
And how about that's not something we've seen yet. That was a little shimmy on the outside from Butler. I like the dribble penetration.
And we got a foul. I thought they were going to get Robinson with a carry there, but I guess he got hit on the arm. That's the 6th team foul. And that's on Hudson, his first. 11:03 to play in the first half. Kevin Green in the game for Newman now. Robinson. Here's Jair Green working on Barnes. He's blocked by Butler. It's James Butler going the other way. A 4-on-2 developing. Butler right at the defense. Left it a little short. Charity with a rebound. And that's going to be a foul on James Butler. And that's a 17 foul, so we're going to get free throws here for Charity.
Yeah, I'd like to see Butler give that ball up a little earlier in the fast break. We had 2 guards in Kevin Green and Tyre Hudson, ahead of him. Both are very. I think he was hoping that he'd get the foul there and go to the line for 2 more.
Charity at the line, a junior from Levittown, Pennsylvania. And he missed. So it's Newman. Have a possession, and they just gave it right back. Green tracks it down. Jair Green puts it over Barnes.
Wow.
And a technical foul on Jair Green after the dunk.
I'll tell you what, and that was a matchup that was coming. If you remember the last game.
Yep, I was just going to say that happened in the last game.
Green tried to dunk on Barnes and he missed the dunk. That was a little bit of payback right there.
So Jair Green must have said something. Not sure what it was, but enough to get the second technical foul in this game.
Yeah, this
so
game,
Kevin Green at the line hits the first.
Such a high-intensity game. You want to try to keep it in check. This one has all the makings to be a great one.
As Green misses the back end, so a 2-point lead here for Newman. And
I'll tell you what, Kevin Green, a guy that's really came on the past 2 games, coming off a 20-point performance the last game against Immaculata, hit 6 for 9 from 3.
Wow.
So really one of the great 3-point shooters we've ever seen here at Newman. Struggled last year and has been on and off at points in time. To turn it on in the playoffs.
And you hope that doesn't shake Barnes. Hudson to the paint, drops it off. Barnes puts it down.
What to see, because guess what? Last week when that happened, Barnes kind of went into a shell, and I think he just broke out of the shell there.
Charity almost lost it. They go to Monroe. Monroe drops it to Jared Green, and he lays it in. And the first meeting between these teams this year at Cabrini, Green had 28 points in that game.
Well, Green's a solid player, and the thing is, he can defend a guard at his size. I mean, he's a phenomenal player.
So Hudson with it, 9 play in the first half. Barnes lost it, and it will stay with 10 to shoot. And a sub here for Cabrini, Ace Henry back in.
Yeah, I think one thing you're going to start to see from Cabrini defensively is Newman loves to, hit Barnes at the top of the key with that quick chest pass. I think you're going to start seeing some quick double team, try to get a trap.
Butler
there it is, right
to
here.
Barnes. Barnes, right hand, soft touch.
He's just so long. I mean, what more can he ask for from a defender than to be right in his face?
And that's all, looking at the rim.
He's put his hands up. He's already at the rim.
Here's Monroe, and you see they make a switch here. Butler on Monroe as Monroe still gets the soft roll.
That's Monroe's game right there. He backs down the post and that turnaround jumper.
Finds the cutting Butler. Butler.
The addition of wow.
Robinson, floater. Wild shot there. Barnes picks up the loose ball. And Hudson the other way. Newman with a 4-point lead. Kevin Green. Crowd wanted a three. Didn't get it. Layup. And another charge.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think you got to check the footing there. I'm pretty sure. He was in that restricted area, but it's the other way. It's the third charge on Newman. And free throws will not be taken by Cabrini as an offensive foul. 24-20, 8:48 to play in the first half. A much more controlled game than week.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cabrini's not shooting the lights out from three like they were the other week either.
Henry had a three, but lost to Henry. Green lost it. Green now. He lost it. It's Kevin Green. Green now. Driving. Layup. Count it. And we got a timeout here. James Butler seems to be a little shaken up as Coach Rulo fired up here. So it's a full timeout taken by Coach Tim McDonald. So second full timeout here, and 26-20, Newman on top, and we're gonna go over to Zane on the sideline, on the Cabrini sideline. So Zane, what do you have for us?
Okay, thank you, Chris. And it looks like Cabrini is down. Newman is up 6 points. And thank you, back to Chris.
All right, so Kai, 26-20, and like I said, much more controlled game than it was last week.
Yeah, it seems a lot more controlled, and I think the big thing is Newman. I mean, they're like a pack of wolves defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many turnovers, I have to double check that, but they're playing awesome defensively, and that's really something. Cabrini was picking them apart defensively last week.
Yeah, Cabrini with 7 turnovers right now, Newman with 5, but do you like the more controlled defensive game, or do you like the run and gun style?
I'm going to need a neck brace if we keep on going to this run and gun style. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Okay, so let's go back to the dunk by Jair Green. Last week, we saw Green. You see the student section behind us here. Green last week did not go, but this time it goes, and it kind of got Green fired up, but the referees took complete control of that situation and gave Green a technical foul. Do you like that technical foul?
I don't know. I'm the kind of guy in a big game like this, I'd like to see as least many whistles as possible. It just slows down the game, and I think it really takes away from the momentum that each team has going.
So 8:22 and counting as the crowd letting Monroe hear it with his team down 6. This is Bagwell, finds. I think he traveled. No call, though, and Monroe gets it to go.
I'll tell you what, the thing I think Monroe's best attribute as a player is his body control. I mean, it's 6'8". I mean, control over his body.
Barnes.
And so does this guy. So does this guy.
There's Henry. And they swing it around. Bagwell at the top. And last game we saw Newman and Cabrini played, the Earl Bagwell had a pretty good game. Here's a jumper in the corner. Monroe, and Tiny Monroe is having a pretty good first half.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that kid is going to be a problem in the CSAC. Only a sophomore.
He's got 10 for Cabrini. Averaging 18 points, 15 rebounds. Hudson looking for Butler over top here. He's got way to the corner. The drive, Parker missed it, point blank range. Butler couldn't get down the miss, and this is Robinson coming the other way. Robinson, jumper from the free throw line. Missed it. Newman quickly the other way. No numbers here for Hudson, doesn't matter. Hudson drops it off, Butler foul, put it down.
Very good pass by Hudson.
And Deshaun Lohman coming back in the game. So James Butler, and Butler having a pretty good first half himself.
Butler's a guy that, we saw him last year, was so, he was the premier post player, and that's not his game.
Yep.
The addition of Barnes to this team has really opened him up offensively. I mean, we've seen him do things that we never even would have imagined he could do this year. And I think it's more the freedom that he has now with Barnes being that post player.
Butler more of an athlete than a back to the basket player. Bagwell drops it off. Monroe now. Monroe is blocked. The fight for the rebound. It's Jair Green coming up with it. Green out to Robinson, gives a head fake. Up top, Henry for three. Left it short, Green. No box out, doesn't matter. He missed the point blank range layup, and it's Darian Barnes with it.
Those were shots that we saw Ace Henry hit last week in this matchup. Cabrini absolutely shot the lights out last week. Struggling a little bit.
Mr. Sean Lohman just came back in. Butler with 10, Barnes with 10. As they lead Newman in points here. And they got 2 to shoot. Green jacks up a bomb. Look at this. Banks it in. Wow. And a 10-point lead for Newman in the Miranda Center.
We said that Kevin Green rises to the occasion, either a banked 3-point shot.
Bagwell. That's Kevin Green. Kevin Green, of course, the guy hit that game-tying 3 in the championship game. Here's Robinson to the corner, back up top. Bagwell for 3. Off the back rim. Barnes, he got it.
I think his hand reached up about 3/4 up the backboard to get that rebound.
8-point lead for Newman. 5:10 to play in the first half. Here's Barnes and Monroe, the matchup of the night. Barnes almost lost his footing. Left that one a little short, the tip in. Got his own miss off the tip. Green now, the chase is on, and it's out of bounds. And
tell you what, though, I have seen Darian Barnes with a little fire on him tonight. I mean, being a lot more physical down there in the post.
Marywood on top of the Newman women's team, 25-17 with 2:35 to play in that first half. Gwinnett Mercy and Rosemont on the men's side, they tip off at 8 o'clock tonight. There's Denzel Yard. Yard back up top. A little bit of a lazy pass there. Hudson comes up with it, though. 13 to shoot. Hudson, he's trapped. He's got Lohman now. Lohman back to Hudson. Not a shooter. Hudson drives. Lost his footing, and he traveled. 4:31 to play. Cabrini can continue to try to cut this deficit here.
Tell you what, a much more low-scoring game tonight.
Oh yeah, and it's just better defense. As you see Newman now in his zone.
Well, yeah, I think Coach Rillo picked up on that. Cabrini's struggling to shoot it from deep tonight. As you see right there.
Green airballs a jumper, and here's Hudson gets around Green. Splits a double team. Here comes Hudson to the corner. Yard. And he airballed that one. Butler, offensive rebound, he's fouled. Meanwhile, on the women's side, on the other side of the bracket, Cabrini is playing Gwinnett Mercy, and they are on top of Gwinnett Mercy, 67-56 with 10 seconds. So that means Gwinnett Mercy, the 2 seed there, they're going to get knocked off as Cabrini, they were the 3 seed. They're going to move on to the champ. take place on Saturday. As James Butler walks to half court. And a little farther.
I'll tell you what, he's a walker, isn't he? I mean, what an interesting guy. We might have to do a spotlight one week on James Butler, just to inside the head of James Butler. You know, I've never seen James Butler, a guy, his jersey comes untucked more times than not, headband flying on the floor. He's a walker. He likes to walk out the half court between free throws.
He's a roamer. He got one going rogue here.
He's a personality, isn't he? And we walked in the one day, the center. Before a game, he's playing his PlayStation hooked up to the TV.
Well, Butler hits the first.
There he is walking again.
Out to half court. As Tony Parker back in, Denzel Yard's going to sit after he airballed that three. Yard trying to find himself in this game. He's struggling a little bit. He's got 2 points as Butler missed the back end. So a 9-point lead coming up on 4 minutes now to play in this first half of the Miranda Center at the home of the Newman University Knights. Robinson drops it off free throw line. Charity now, guarded by Barnes in the zone. Barnes did not get a hand on it. Excellent job by Charity.
Good use of the body by Charity there to kind of block off Barnes.
Lohman going baseline. Got a step on Monroe. Count it. So 37-28. 3.5 to play. Newman in a 2-1-2 here. Jumper on the baseline. Monroe. And Tyheem Monroe is having a game, Kai.
Yeah, he just seems to rise to the occasion. I mean, one of the, if not the best, one of the best players in this conference.
And he's certainly showing it tonight. Monroe with 12 points and 6 rebounds. So 37-30. A short timeout taken here by Coach Tim McDonald. And 3:21 left here. The three ball has been completely a non-factor in this game, Kai.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't really been a factor at all, to tell you the truth. I mean, we haven't seen that many. And the ones we've seen have shot either been airballed or no.
I think the only one of the game, if I'm not mistaken, was the bank shot by Kevin Green.
Yeah, we haven't seen that many. I mean, it's really crazy how much different this game is tonight than the one we just saw last week.
Cabrini 0 for 8 from three-point range. Newman 1 for 4 again. Kevin Green with that bank shot.
And, you know, that's the thing that stinks about having, you know, being a team that likes to shoot a lot. You live and die by that three. You know, one night like we saw, they were shooting the lights out. And, you know, tonight they haven't hit anything.
So 3:21 to play. As play about to resume here. 37-30. Newman on top of the Cabrini Cavaliers. Playoffs, Cabrini the 3. And we got that first round bye. Cabrini coming off a big win against Immaculata. As now you see Cabrini in this zone here. Ooh. Butler, look at this.
Woo! I have nothing but respect for James Butler. I mean, dude, the guy is an absolute animal.
That's one way to beat a zone. Monroe. He's hot from that area tonight, as that was off the hands of Charity, I think. And it's going to go back to Newman, as Charity pleading his case. 43. As Cabrini's going to stay in this 2-3 zone here. And you got to assume Coach Rullo worked on this zone.
Right.
Tony Parker. This is Lohman. Lohman, quiet game so far. Parker missed that one off the back rim, and Monroe with a rebound. And it's Ivan Robinson coming the other way, crossing half court. Charity gives a head fake. Charity, he's got a clear look at the basket. Did not get it, though. And you think that was part of, I got to watch out for Darian Barnes?
Yeah. Because it would have been a volleyball spike to half court.
We've seen a couple of them tonight. Cabrini in that send a 2-3 zone here. Hudson now, Tony Parker. Under 2 minutes to play. 39-30, Newman on top. Inside, Butler. A lot of contact there, no call, might have been all ball, as Butler may have fell on his own. It's Robinson the other way. Robinson drops it off. Monroe is fouled. Yeah, there's a lot of contact there.
Yeah.
A minute 32 to play. So Monroe's going to go to the line here for 2 shots. So Monroe having a pretty good game. As we mentioned, 12.7 boards on his way to another double-double. And now we got no basket. So I think we got a lane violation here on.
That can't happen, especially when he's shooting 2 free throws.
So he's got 1 now. And Monroe hits the back end, so an 8-point game now. In the last minute and a half here, you definitely don't want Cabrini to make a little bit of a run here. Here's Hudson. They got 10 to shoot. Parker over on that Cabrini bench. Hudson trying to attack the zone. He had a lot of success with that the other night, and he does continuously.
Being so young, Hudson, when he develops that jump shot, he is going to be an absolute threat offensively.
There's Green up top. 3 ball. Bagwell. No. And here's Hudson with 47 seconds. Hudson up to Parker. Parker can definitely shoot it. And he's off tonight. Butler, another offensive rebound. Butler rises over the defense. And a 12-point lead.
Now, if there's one person, if I'm playing defense, the last person I want to try to defend is James Butler driving to the rim.
Monroe will not shoot it from out there. Under 30 to play now. Yes, he will shoot it from out there. And he'll hit a 3. I stand corrected. I didn't think he had that range.
Yeah, well, we've seen some deep twos so far tonight, but that's not something that he showed off in pregame warm-ups. I can guarantee you that.
So 8 seconds now. Down to 6 and 5. That one's tipped. It's going to stay. 5.6 seconds ago. 43-34. Newman on top. Up by 9. And they can extend that lead. They'll definitely go into halftime with a pretty sizable lead. They can extend it here. 5 seconds. Lohman down to 3. Lohman down to 2. Lohman down to 1. He's freed for 3. Count it!
How about that?
So Newman takes a halftime lead, 46-34, into half. The Cabrini Cavaliers, and the basket, we're making sure here that this is going to count for you, and it's definitely going to be a 3 as we're looking here. And I think it definitely was ruled a 3-pointer. I'm almost positive it was ruled a 3. Yeah. And we're going to go over to Duncan Ballara on the sidelines here. If we can get a word here with Coach Rulo.
Yeah,
we're going to give him time to set up. So Kai, in this first half, much more controlled game. Excellent job for Newman.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a great job, especially defensively. I can't believe it. 3-point shot, unbelievable.
And we're going to go to Duncan right now. So Duncan with Coach Rulo. Duncan, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Great first half. A lot of energy. How are you going to keep it up in the second half?
Yeah, I think our defense is obviously what's making everything work. We got to continue to fight for the 50-50 balls. We have to continue to work and help each other. We can't gamble. And we just got to stay tight to our assignments based on their personnel. They're a very good team, so we have to be on point in the second half.
Now, a little bit of foul trouble early on. How do you combat that in the second half?
I think the next guy's got to be able to step up, and that's why we're a team. And the next guy's got to understand their personnel, and we practice that way. So hopefully guys are prepared to step in and finish the assignments and play well for the next 20 minutes.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate
Good luck in the second half. All right, Christian, Kai, back to you guys.
Thanks, Duncan. So, Kai, in that first half, like Coach Rulo just said, excellent defensive job. That's been the game so far.
Yeah, I mean, we said last week Newman needed to show up defensively. They told me all week they were going to show up, and they've shown up so far. But the key is, can they put a full game together? Not just the first half. Can they show up in the second half as well?
And that's what they did not do last game.
Right.
Last Wednesday they did not. But right now, 46-34, Newman on top of Cabrini. You are watching NSN broadcast of the CSAC semifinal playoff. Newman again on top. We will resume play in about 15 minutes or so don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're about to start the second half very shortly, 46-34. Newman on top, and right now coming out of the halftime, Zane, she got to talk to Coach Tim McDonald, so she had a couple words with him. So Zane, what did you get from Coach Tim McDonald there at halftime?
Thanks, Chris. What Coach McDonald said was they're down by 12. They just have to play one possession at a time, and just to strengthen their offense. Back to you, Chris.
All right, thanks, Zane. So, Kai, again, halftime. We're going to go over some stats for you, the viewers at home. But right now, Kai, what does Cabrini have to do in the second half?
Well, Cabrini's got to, get themselves, like their coach said, every possession matters at this point.
Right.
And, I thought there was a couple errant shots from three. But, they're a three-point shooting team, but they really got to get that three ball falling for them.
Yeah, they were 1 for 9 in that first
unlike
half,
them.
and that's not even close to what they were last week.
Right.
For Newman, doing an excellent job so far.
Yeah, Newman's playing great defensively. And like we said, they always seem to have one good half, whether it be the first or second. Let's see if they can kind of extend it.
Yep, definitely. So we're about to resume play here very shortly. We are going to go into the student section right now and get a word from Duncan Ballara. Duncan, can you hear us?
It's rowdy down here. Everybody's giving it to the refs, heckling the other team. It's awesome up here.
I think Duncan's going to get lost in the crowd there.
Everyone's
in the sea of yellow.
No one's really watching right now. They're all just staring at me. I feel out of place.
All right, thanks, Duncan. So Duncan's going to get lost up there.
Yeah.
He's going to get mauled. Not a very big guy. But, yeah, so we're about to resume play here, and just to go over some first-half stats for you, the biggest thing that stood out to me, again, besides the three-pointers, field goal percentage, 54% for Newman, 42% for Cabrini.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable because Cabrini literally barely missed, last Wednesday when these two teams met. And it's really going to be interesting to see. You see right here, 1 of 9 from 3. Newman's not shooting any better, but Newman,
That's not their game, though. That's not their game.
Yeah, that's not their game at all. But, another thing I like to see, looking at this graphic here, is 22 rebounds for Newman. That's it. This is a team that we've talked about for the past couple games, really struggling boxing out. And right from the tip-off, we've seen a really good job by Barnes especially, and boxing out, find that man, boxing him out. And, that's something that they've definitely been working on in practice.
Yeah, and the battle here between Taheem Monroe and Darian Barnes. Monroe 16 points, 7 rebounds, and Darian Barnes with 10 points and 9 rebounds. So they're right on cue.
Right.
Both of them probably going to end up with a double-double for the rest of the, at the end of the game. Other guys, James Butler, 15 points in that first half, doing an excellent job.
But, that's a guy we've talked about time and time again that has really expanded his offensive game. We've always known him as a defensive presence, blocking shots, getting steals, hustling down, a fast break player. He's really turned into, he can shoot the ball, he can drive. The ball handling we've seen from him so far is, something that we would see out of a Deshaun Loman.
Yep.
And he's really driving and getting to the rim, and he's being able to finish with both hands. So this Newman team is playing great right now. Hopefully they can keep it up.
And you look on the Cabrini side, there's really no help right now for Taheem Monroe. He's got 16. Nobody else has more than 4 points.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised, especially with the senior Ace Henry from Delaware. Shooting 41% from 3 so far this year. And tonight he's just struggling. And he hasn't even had the ball that much in his hands, for that matter. So that's going to be interesting to see if they can kind of feed him the ball and as well as keep Monroe hot.
So it's going to be Cabrini ball.
Yeah, he's going to hear it. He's going to hear it.
Monroe definitely going to hear it from the crowd behind us here in the yellow. And now Cabrini in the black going from left to right on your screen. Meanwhile, Marywood on top of the Newman women's team, 29-23. And that's in the midway through the third quarter. Here's a drive and a block. James Butler.
I think James Butler changed shoes.
I was just going to say that. Did he change shoes?
I think he did.
He had a pretty good first half. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah, we talked about the first half. He's an interesting guy, so that might be another superstition that we have to do a night spotlight with James Butler at some point this year.
So it stays Cabrini's ball. 18 to shoot. They quickly go back to Monroe. Monroe, he's shown the ability to shoot it from 3, and he'll step back from 17, take a fadeaway, and left it a little short. Here's Lohman.
Oh.
And Lohman will reset here. Denzel Yard back to Butler. Cabrini stays in that 2-3 zone. Yard had a tough first half. Only 2 points. They go to the middle. Hudson, not usually where he's at. Yard, head fake. Tries to go inside with a no-look pass, and the race is on, and it is going to go to Cabrini.
A little closer there. I wonder if Duncan had a better view. turn them up.
I'm not sure if it's tough to tell over there. You know, that's a tough angle for us from here, but you know, the referee's right on top of that, of course.
I'm right down the sideline, and
referee's right on top of that. Duncan, is it definitely out on Newman over there?
I think it could have gone Newman's way, but it was a tough angle for the referee, so it's tough enough on them already.
I'm gonna have to shoot you up in some pinstripes. See if we can get some calls out of you then.
Give me the black and white.
Cabrini missed that one, and Cabrini with the offensive rebound. So back to Cabrini and a 3. That one is good, and that's Charity.
So we talked about, you know, that's Cabrini's game. Can they get going from deep? And they're I mean, that's one thing about a shooting team. Once they make one and they start seeing that ball fall, I mean, it really turns into a rainstorm.
Butler trying to go to Barnes. Barnes inside, left a little short, but he's fouled.
It's exactly the kind of toughness we're talking about there with Barnes in the post.
And you're right, that's something you didn't see at all last game. He just kind of really got overshadowed by Monroe and the whole defense of Cabrini, but so far Newman's showing a pretty good job of being able to beat that zone. So Barnes at the line here for 2.
Yeah, a very good free throw shooter. Such a pretty stroke for a big guy. It's usually, you know, at the Division III level, that's not see with a guy of 6'9" of his height being able to shoot, as he just misses one there. But
I missed that one, but we'll get another one.
There's such a laid-back guy in Darian Barnes.
Yep. I don't know if you ever got a chance to talk to him, but he's, like you just said, very, very
laid
back.
Yeah, very laid-back guy, and, you know, it's such a great addition to this Newman Knights team. I mean, they desperately needed a presence down low, and they certainly got one in Darian Barnes.
Gwynedd Mercy and Rosemont probably just tipped off. They were scheduled to tip at 8 o'clock, so if not, they will tip off very shortly on the other side of the bracket. Here's Charity over Lohman. Missed that one. Barnes skies for the rebound. And Newman taking the 10-point lead here. Hudson with it and drops it off to Deshaun. Here's Lohman. Lohman trying to drive baseline. Cut off. Here's Butler. Butler now trying to go baseline. He spins. Good defense by Green. Inside, Lohman at the paint. 6 to shoot. Takes it with the left. Couldn't finish. Barnes offensive rebound off glass.
That's not a spot we usually see Deshaun Lohman get the ball, but maybe that's something they drew up at halftime. Some way to get him to get to the rim. Another nice take by Deshaun.
Monroe is fouled by Darian Barnes. And Barnes trying to figure out what the problem was, but definitely got him on the arm there. 49-37, Newman on top. Early second half, 17:54 to play. Again, the championship game, CSAC championship on Saturday the 27th. That time is to be determined. Good pass underneath. Charity, point blank, got it.
Such a Taheem Monroe, I mean, he's such a dynamic player.
And only a sophomore. Scary. Scary good. Could definitely see a CSAC player of the year in his future.
You know, I can't imagine, you know, this Cabrini team last year, if, you know, Monroe played to this level.
Lohman on the wing. They got 5 to shoot. Hudson's going to penetrate. Good pass underneath. Yard. Reverse.
So many positive things for, I mean, and another young, great player in Taheem and
Hudson.
Tyher
Hudson getting both of them mixed
tied up a little bit. But, I mean, a great pass there.
Charity, not a good pass. Butler got that one, and he's coming the other way. Butler finds Yard in the middle. Back to Butler. Butler.
Surprised we didn't see Butler bring down the rim there.
I think he just wanted to make sure he got the 2 points as Newman extends to a 14-point advantage. Just under 17 minutes to play.
Tell you what, this gym is really filled up here.
And you know what the difference is? Newman picking and choosing their chances to run. And when they have to play that zone, against the zone, they're doing an excellent job. They're going to look to run here. Yard.
Right.
And we'll slow it down, actually. We'll go to the corner. The drive by Hudson. Barnes. Timeout taken. 16-point lead. Newman on top, 55-39, 16-22 to play in the second half. And Kai Newman, they just can't be stopped right now.
And, you know, this is kind of a little bit of roles reversed to what we saw last game between these two teams. You know, Newman was the one that came out of the break a little sluggish, and they could never recover from it. So maybe that's what we're going to see tonight.
And like I said, going, you know, before that timeout, the ability of Newman to pick and choose when they run it, go in transition, that run and gun, and the ability to attack that zone. You see a lot of layups underneath the basket. Easy for them. As you see the crowd getting into it right now with the other student section, but you know,
let's see if we can see Duncan venture over to the opponent student section.
I don't know if we want to send Duncan over there.
He's over there.
So again, we'll keep you updated with other scores around the CSACs. Gwinnett Mercy and Rosemont is about to tip off very shortly. And again, the championship game, as I mentioned, on Saturday, February 27th. Again, time to be determined. Gwinnett Mercy, the 1 seed, they are playing home tonight.
There's a shot for you right there on the screen. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen, a game this filled up so far this year. I mean, it's just really impressive. I mean, we're really happy for the student body of Newman was able to come out tonight.
See this. Honestly, for a second there, I didn't think we were going to get packed.
Yeah,
I was a little afraid.
This was what I was expecting the whole time, this magnitude of people to show up, but it just took them a little while to get out.
Marywood on top of the Newman women's team, 34-25 with 3:34 to play. So play will now continue, 16:22 to play, 55-39. Cabrini's going to have some magic here if they want to come back in this one, because Newman is playing lights-out basketball right now. And it starts with the 3-ball potentially. Let's see if they get that, trying to get that going. Here is Bagwell.
Well, Bagwell's the guy to do it. I mean, the guy is an absolute freak from the outside.
Bagwell, he'll drive. Bagwell couldn't get the soft roll, and it's Barnes giving to Denzel Yard, going the other way. Cabrini extends that zone. Barnes will take the jumper. Missed it. Rebound. And it's going the other way, and a foul here on Lohman. I don't know about that one.
Guys, I could have made that call. The fans could have made that call.
We're certainly hearing it over here at Duncan.
This is Bagwell, lost it. And that's off of Bagwell. So back to Newman here is Yard. I give it to Hudson, and Hudson will walk it up. Still a 16-point advantage for Newman. Gwinnett Mercy and Rosemont just tipped off. It's 3-0 Gwinnett Mercy very early in that game, of course. Butler now one-on-one with Green. Butler driving a lot of contact.
James Butler getting to the line again. Doing a great job tonight of getting to the line.
James Butler continues to put a good game together.
Yeah, he seems to really be climbing with his, confidence offensively, putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket.
I think that's more of his game. As he missed the first free throw, he's got 17 tonight, leads all scorers.
He's taking his walk.
Tony Parker comes in, Jimmy Robinson comes in. As James Butler hits the back end, so the lead is now 17. There's that Cabrini sideline over there in the student section, a little quiet now. Here's a three. Count that one.
Wow.
Ivan Robinson.
That's a guy that would really help them offensively if he can get going.
There's Yard. Yard, good pass inside. Butler lost it, though, and back to Cabrini. That's where he can't get sloppy. Cannot get sloppy.
Yeah,
Plenty of time left in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to get sloppy, especially in a playoff game like this.
15 minutes remain. 14-point lead for Newman. Let's see if Cabrini can keep going with that 3-ball. Jimmy Robinson's wide open, but Jaya Green's going to take a jumper and left it short. The tip. It's Monroe. Did he get it? Did not, as it went out of bounds. Hudson yarded by Bagwell. There's Denzel Yard. Yard. Spin move. Scoop, layup. Ooh. Fancy move by Denzel.
The senior and Denzel Yard, a shooter, and can also get to the basket. And a stupid foul.
They got a foul there on Yard. So
Something we talked about last game that Newman, we've seen when Newman, they're a great defensive team, but when you ISO Newman's guards, it's almost like they hate to get beat. They get beat with their feet and they start reaching with their hands. And and there's a new rule this year. There's no touch fouls. You can't hand check this year. So you see a lot more touch fouls at the top of the key.
Robinson to the corner. Bagwell gets a step, drops it off inside. Too hot for Monroe.
Cabrini just seems like they can't get it together offensively.
They can't. They're really struggling. There's Hudson working on Bagwell. Hudson to the rim.
We've said time and time again, his best move with the ball in his hands is to run right by the defender.
Robinson to the baseline. Robinson, And Newman wanted to travel before that. But we got a blocking foul on James Butler, so that's going to be Newman's 4th team foul. That's his 2nd. And now we got a sub here for Cabrini. It's going to be Robbie Brush. And we got a 22nd timeout here taken by Coach Jim Rulo. So it's more of a defensive timeout, I believe, by Coach Rulo. 60-42, Newman on top, 13:48 left to play in this half. And Kai, Cabrini just can't really get something consistent going.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to. I think, passing is a great thing. You always hear coaches preach, pass, when you think you're open, pass one more time because someone is always more open. In this case, I feel like Cabrini, everyone's nervous to take the shot. They're passing a little too much. You saw here with Bagwell try to squeeze one in to Monroe down low, but he was wide open for 3. He's a shooter. So maybe they're getting a little tentative. That's something that you do see out of shooting teams when not shooting well that night. Get a little tentative. Little tentative. On when to pull the trigger, on when not to. But they're definitely going to need to shoot the lights out to get back in this game.
And they trail by 18. Again, just under 14 minutes to play. Bagwell lost it. The chase is on. He just gets to it. I think Hudson might have got a piece of it anyway. 20 seconds to shoot. Rush to the corner. Robinson goes inside. Monroe. He's got to look at the basket. Gives to Green. Green over the outstretched arms of the Newman defenders there. And
he hit that
somehow
ball.
Got that in there.
He hit that ball off the very top part of the backboard. It went in. Yeah, this is a match for Tony Parker. Oh, wow. I thought he was going to take advantage of that one.
Here's
There's
Barnes.
a mismatch here.
Much smaller. Green tries to drop it off, and Monroe with a good steal. So a chance here for Cabrini to cut into the deficit. They try to go backdoor.
Oh.
And off the hands of one of the Newman players, I believe. I'm not sure who got a hand on it, but that looked like it went through pretty cleanly. But Cabrini ball. And a sub here. It's going to be Lohman coming back in. I don't think I've seen Deshaun Lohman sit this much.
Yeah, we've said that the past couple games. A guy that we're used to seeing play very, very, very close to 40 minutes a game. But, as we said, I think it's really helped him stay fresh throughout the whole season.
Jimmy Robinson in the corner. Skip pass over to Brosh. Brosh down to 8. Green for 3. That one's left short. Barnes tipped it. The chase is on. Barnes got it, tried to save it, and he gets to Lohman, who gives to Parker, and here they come.
They got numbers
Parker,
here.
3 on 2. To the corner, but too far ahead, and Jim Rulo shaking his head.
Yeah, Butler's letting Parker hear that one. He wanted the fireworks. He wanted the alley-oop.
So Kevin Green comes in. Green with a 3 ball in this game. Monroe's consistently hit that all night. He'll take it again. Why not? Yard guarded by Robinson. It's a 14-point game now. Cabrini trying to creep back into it. Lohman guarded by Jimmy Robinson. Lohman lost it. He'll track down and get it. 10 to shoot. Lohman got to watch the 5 seconds here, and they give the Butler down to 6 and 5 to shoot. Butler going to attack the rim on Monroe. Butler A little too strong. Barnes is there, though, and a new possession for Newman. They give back to Butler. Butler's got it to go. But a shot clock violation before the shot. So no basket. Under 12 to play. 60-46, Newman on top.
You know, I know 14, seems like a big number, but the way this Cabrini team can shoot,
Yep.
That can go by with just, 3 or 4 shots.
And not that, only defend. They're playing pretty good defense.
Yeah.
Past couple possessions. Monroe tried to throw it over the top, and a foul on the entry pass.
Wow, I think that was a bad pass by Monroe. He got lucky that they called a foul
I
there.
honestly thought he was going to take the 3 over Barnes.
Yeah, Kevin Green not happy with that call.
So that's going to be the 5th on Newman. Meanwhile, Marywood on top of Newman. The women's team 43-37. They made that a little bit of a game with 23 seconds in the third. Pass in the paint, Charity. He is swarmed. Gets it back out. Robinson, that's a bomb. In and out. And here is Kevin Green. Green now guarded tightly by Brosh. There's the crowd letting him hear it. Green. And Brosh played pretty good enough defense, I suppose. That's Hudson coming back in. I saw Hudson getting some work there over on the sidelines on his leg. I'm not sure if he was cramping up or what happened.
I'd cramp up too if I was running around as much as he does.
There's Robinson. Ace Henry not back in the game yet. Monroe, step back 19-footer. Did not get the soft roll. It's Yard coming away with it, and he is triple teamed under the basket, and he threw it right to Cabrini. Monroe drops it off the back. Barnes could not get a piece of it, and Robinson will count it down to 12 as the Cabrini sideline coming to life. Lohman right at Robinson. Lohman got it to go, and a good answer. Back to 14. The drive by Charity, count it. And back down to 12.
Here comes this running gun style from both teams.
Lohman to the rim. Fouled. And to the line for 2, he'll go. 62-50, 10:42 left.
And, I absolutely love, and I say this every game we do, Deshaun Lohman, he gets it. He absolutely gets it that in a games like this, especially with the new rules they have this year with, the officiating, it makes almost no sense not to drive the ball to the rim whenever you have. How many times have we seen him do that this year? And he's a great free throw shooter. Again, I guess I jinxed it, but
twice tonight.
that is twice. Yeah, I'm just going to stop commenting on free throw shooting, but a guy that can finish with both hands is so crucial now in the college basketball game.
Jair Green comes back in. Jimmy Robinson will sit. And free throws could be a key here down the stretch as Lohman hits the back end. It's a 13-point lead now. These two teams played twice this year. Newman beat Cabrini on their home floor 92-80, and Cabrini came here last Wednesday and smoked Newman. 3-ball in the corner. That is an air ball. Big time, and a foul going the other way on Charity. So now you're going to see Cabrini with a press, as they're going to try to force some turnovers, but can this play right into the hands of Newman's running gun style? As Brosh commits a foul, wanted to travel. That's the 5th team foul on Cabrini. So both teams with 5 fouls apiece. 10:33 left. Here's Deshaun Lohman. Hudson, guarded by Brosh. Pass to Yard inside. Yard. Reverse layup, and he put a little bit too much on it.
I don't think he needed to do the reverse there.
No, I don't think so either. Charity to the rim. A lot of contact. I'll tell you what, Ryan Charity putting together a pretty good game.
Yeah, we said that last game. He's shown the ability to shoot it from the outside, and he loves, similar player to Deshaun Lohman, loves to take the ball to the basket. And, I think another thing we haven't talked about yet, he's a pretty good rebounder as well.
Charity with 13 points in this game, 2nd on the team right now. Monroe's got 18. As Monroe's been pretty quiet in the second half as Charity hits the first free throw. As he cuts it down to 12. And Charity's second one is off. Ball's tipped. And I think it's out off of Newman, so it's going to stay with Cabrini. So Cabrini can cut deeper into this lead now. They can cut it to 10. Monroe in the corner, guarded tightly by Barnes in a little bit of a help defense trying to come over here. Monroe, 19-footer. Missed that one. The tip right to Jair Green, who lost it, and that's out of bounds again off Newman, so back to Cabrini.
So there's a lot happening there.
So timeout here taken by Coach Rullo, a 20-second timeout. But pretty good defense played by Newman. But right now we're going to go over to Duncan as he gets set up. We'll give him some time to set up. But Kai, Cabrini inching their way back into it.
Yeah, I mean, they're inching their way back into it. But, I mean, Newman's got to stay. That's what we talked about. Newman's got to put together 2 consistent halves. And they're struggling a little bit here. But, you know, as the game progresses, I'm going to look for them. I think they should go back to the zone. You know, they're struggling a little bit, but.
We're going to go over to Duncan right now. Duncan, what do you have for us?
Guys, one thing I talked to Coach Rullo about before the half was foul trouble. Newman not doing too good of a job right now. Cabrini's going to be shooting the rest of the way.
Thanks, Duncan. So, again, that's another good point. We didn't even think about that. The foul trouble. Newman, one more foul. They're in the bonus right now because one more foul that puts them in the 1-on-1 situation.
And, you know, we've seen a lot of games. We just did the girls' game here, you know, a couple nights ago, and that game came down to how many fouls were in that one. I mean, we saw a lot. Yeah. I mean, that game felt like it took 3 hours because of all the fouls.
Here's Monroe working on Barnes. Quickly double teamed. He's got to find the open guy. And it's Robinson cutting to the basket. The foul and to the line, so he can cut it to 10 with 2 free throws. Meanwhile, Marywood on top of the Newman women's team, 43-42. That's a tight one down there. 8:22 to play in that game. On the men's side, Gwinnett Mercy on top of Rosemont, 17-13. Midway through that first half. And it's Ivan Robinson at the line for 2. And he gets the first one to roll in.
And Cabrini's starting to creep back here.
Yep. And you kind of get the feeling that Cabrini is going to be able to find their way to make this a 1 or 2 possession game by about 3 minutes.
A team like Cabrini that is so seasoned, and what I mean by that is every single year they find themselves in this situation. So this is every year they're playing in the CSAC championship semifinals.
Yep. 63-53, 10-point lead for Newman. As Cabrini into the man-to-man here. Defensively, they make a switch. Lohman past Green. It's Barnes. Barnes, easy.
Thought we might have saw a dunk there out of Barnes.
Here's Monroe. Cabrini's best guy, Monroe. Oh, he's going to give a spin move there. Monroe's going to go baseline instead. Monroe kicks to the corner. Brosh now doesn't have a shot. Brosh. Up to Charity. Second leading scorer for Cabrini. And Charity again. Put that one a little too strong. Monroe, offensive rebound. Back up. Count it.
You know, that's what we talked about before this game. We've seen some possessions where Barnes is physical. That one right there, he kind of backed away a little bit. Probably didn't want to get a foul, but gave Monroe an easy bucket and then fouled him at the end anyway.
So Monroe can cut it to 9 here with the free throw as he has got 20 points. As Monroe missed the free throw, so it'll stay at 10. 9 minutes to go. Here's Lohman working on Charity. He gets around him. To the corner, Denzel Yard.
He can shoot it.
Yard, step back 3 in the corner. In and out. And here's Cabrini. Can cut it down to 8. Or 7. Long pass up ahead. Monroe. No one's under there. Monroe to the corner. Charity for 3.
We talked about Charity, big game player. I mean, he had a great game so far. We just talked about how he can shoot it, but he loves to drive the ball as well.
It's down to 7, 8:24 to play. And the Cabrini student section getting into it now. Hudson on the drive. Hudson, good pass. As the Newman student section getting into it now. Bagwell got the soft roll to go.
Tell you what, in between Bagwell and Charity, I mean, 2 great guards to complement Monroe down low for this Cavs offense.
Bagwell with 6. 67-60. Newman hanging on here. Yard. Robinson to Charity, gets a step. Charity hop steps through Monroe. He's got 1-3 already off the front rim. Yard now, and they look to run 3-on-2 developing. Yard right at Monroe. Left it short and off the hands of Barnes. And back to Cabrini down 9. Kevin Green going to come in. Ace Henry going to come in as well.
I would have liked to see Denzel Yard. I'd like to see him. He got the ball. He started off quick, kind of slowed down. Let the defenders catch up to him.
Should have went right at Monroe.
Yeah, he should have went right at him.
Newman University women's team on top of Marywood right now, 50-46 with 7:21 to play in that game. So they came all the way back, and a chance if they win that game, they get to the finals on Saturday. So a chance for both Newman's basketball team, men and women's, to represent the CSAC in the championship. Meanwhile, it's Henry.
That's a guy we talked about in the pregame, but we've barely called his name. He's kind of been silent the whole game, but a very good player for this Cavs team.
Henry's first 2 points there. And it's back down to 7, under 7 to play. Yard. Over to Barnes. He can shoot it from out there. Monroe closing out pretty far. Barnes trying to drive. Get out of my way.
Whoa.
Put it down, young fella. Timeout taken.
And, that's the toughness right there. The get off me and throw it down like that. Wow.
Guys, Darian Barnes had a mission there.
Yeah, Duncan, you had a pretty good view down there on the baseline.
Oh, it was a great angle. He took Monroe baseline and buried it.
There's 6:42 to play, 71-62, and that is certainly going to get Newman and the crowd fired up here. But Cabrini's still hanging around in this game, though.
Yeah, I'm still. That was awesome. But Cabrini, knowing them, it's a big game. I understand big plays happen, but for them, they're going to have to stay composed. It's starting to get really rowdy. I can barely even hear you talk. So I can't imagine what it's like down the floor right now. But like we said, they have some experience on that team. They'll be fine. They got to get back to what they were doing. I like the dribble, the penetration pass, kick out that they've been doing. They've been shooting the ball better this half, too, which I'd like to see.
Certainly. And, they really haven't had to use the 3-ball to get back into the game. They've just been playing a little bit better defense, and their offense looks more collected and more crisp.
Right.
So to speak.
Yeah, and I think Newman is, so far has put together a great second half. And that was a big question coming into the second half, is can they play a whole game that, they can put it all together, and so far they have.
Yep, and it's, again, what we kept saying, the last game they played, they put together an amazing first half, but the second half they really trailed off.
Yeah,
and now it's really a whole game, but you still have 6:42 left, and Cabrini not going to go away easy.
Oh, this game is by no means over. This is going to be a shootout to the end.
And now you got the crowd standing up behind us. There's Henry inside Monroe on Barnes. Monroe, he's got nowhere to go, and that ball's tipped. Kevin Green tried to save it. He does. Runs into the table here. Ivan Robinson comes away with it, and on the other side it's Bagwell. Down to 7. And it's Denzel Yard walking it across. Newman in the white. And right to left, Yard. He's fouled, and Cabrini not liking that call. As that was a chance for Cabrini to go the other way quick. But Denzel Yard is going to get 2 free throws instead. And Denzel Yard, the best free throw shooter on the team at 78%.
Yeah. Denzel Yard just had his senior day here a couple days ago.
Yep.
Division I transfer from Siena up in New York. Great guard, a key addition, has really helped this Knights team in so many ways.
As he misses the free throw there. Newman women's team on top of Marywood, 50-48, 5:45 to play in that. As you see a great shot there of Dr. Miranda with her hands in her head, doesn't want to watch. As Yard goes 0 for 2 at the line, surprisingly, so Cabrini now with a shot to cut it to 5 or 4. Ooh. Bagwell into the paint, blocked by Barnes.
Barnes has really came back with a vengeance today. We've been talking all week if he would, come back and would he step down to Taheem Monroe being physical, but he's really just kind of stepped into the role and said, I'm going to be the big man today.
It's third block there for Barnes, and all 3 of them have been volleyball spikes. Up top, Henry to the corner. 3-ball. In and out. Monroe couldn't get the offensive rebound. It's Lohman coming away with it, and Lohman Worked on by Monroe. As this game getting close here, 5:35 left. 7-point advantage here.
This is a mismatch for Lohman.
I think he's trying to work on a Monroe, though, the length. And that's a charge, yeah. That's an easy call. Easy call down there. And that's the 4th charge on Newman today.
Yeah, Lohman got a little out of control there. That's a good way to kind of calm Lohman down with the ball in his hands.
Yep.
He's really been picking apart this Cavs defense, just getting to the basket and driving.
71-64, Newman on top, 5:26 left. And to clean up a wet spot on the floor here. And Newman, foul trouble here. They have 9, Cabrini with 6, and there you see Dr. Miranda right in the middle of your screen there.
Likes to come out and show support to all Newman sports.
So Cabrini's ball down 7. 5.5 left as Robinson will let it roll. Newman here in the zone. Robinson missed that 3, left it well short, and that's going to go back to Newman.
And Cabrini's not getting any bounces their way,
No.
even when it's coming off the rim. I'm not going to say they're not rebounding well. They're just not getting any bounces in their favor.
Rebounding margin pretty even, 34 for Newman. They slightly hold the edge there. They're up 34-30 in that category. Yard looking for Barnes inside, and a good defensive play by Bagwell. Here's Bagwell, 3-on-2 developing. Bagwell drops it off. Green. I think Yard got a piece of it, but Monroe there to clean it up with Barnes on the other end. Not there for rebounding, and look at this, down to 5. 2-possession game with 4:50. What did I say?
Yeah.
3 minutes, they're going to cut it to 2 possessions?
Yeah.
Let's make it 4:50.
Yeah.
Hudson now the drive. Hudson into a swarm of defenders. It's Lohman. 4.5 to play. The lead is 7. Monroe to the corner. Henry. Yes! Down to 4 with 4:20.
Cabrini's best shooter, shooting at 41% on the season from 3. No surprise there. Tell you what, I don't think both student sections have sat down since the 10-minute mark in this second half.
This is a heck of an atmosphere here at the Miranda Center tonight. The drive. And let's see what we got here. Help ball. Stays with Newman. And it's up here. James Butler coming back in, as he was out for a good while there.
Gosh, I can't believe they cut it down to a 4-point game.
This game going right down to the wire as expected. Lohman. Oh, look at that block by Monroe. Right to Yard, though. Off the back rim. Long rebound. And now Cabrini can come down and cut it to 2 or 1 if they want. Robinson doubled far from the basket. As Barnes is going to pay attention to Monroe there on the baseline. And here is Monroe. Monroe. He's like that jump shot. He drives. Little floater off glass. Left it too strong. And it's Butler now coming away with it as he comes right into action and right off the bench. Long pass up ahead. Look out. Barnes underneath. Back up to 6.
Smart play by Barnes, waiting for the defender to jump by.
Green got it hooked away, and it will stay with Cabrini. 75-69, Newman with 3:12 to play. And it's pretty much everybody up on their feet right now in this beautiful Miranda Center.
Yeah.
To the corner. Bagwell into the paint, and he is fouled. So that's going to be the 10th on Newman. So that's going to be 2 free throws here for Daryl Bagwell. Meanwhile, Marywood on top now of the Newman women's team, 53-52.
Wow.
With 3:21 to play in that game. That one going down to the wire. So Bagwell at the line here for 2. Can cut it to 4 with both, and he'll hit the first easy. Meanwhile, Gwinnett Mercy on the men's side, they're up 26-21 over Rosemont with 6:24 to play in that game.
Wow, low-scoring game.
Yeah. Defensive game. Now, if Gwinnett Mercy would win, the championship would automatically be held at Gwinnett Mercy on Saturday. If Rosemont wins, the winner of this game here tonight will host the championship game. Let's go over to Duncan now on the sideline. as Duncan is going to get set up, and it would be really something if both the Newman's women's and men's team got into the championship game.
Yeah, I mean that'd be awesome for Newman, and for the student body of Newman. That's something that Newman's really tried to grow over the years since we've been here.
Let's go to Duncan now on the sideline.
Hey guys, this game's gonna we're going back and forth, trading baskets. A lot of smart plays by a lot of players. Everyone's gonna have to contribute to win this game for Newman.
Duncan, can you catch anything there over on the bench of any type of strategy that the players are talking about? Coach Rulo not in the huddle right now, but
looks like they're all strategizing. Everybody has a role on the team, so they're all giving their input on how the ending of this game should go.
All right, let's go over to the other sideline here with Zane. Zane on that Cabrini side.
Okay, like Coach McDonald said, they're strengthening their offense. With 3 minutes to go, they're only down by 4. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Zane. So 75-71, 3:03 to play in the game. And I get some, look at this.
Oh, here it. Oh.
Good dance moves over there in the bleachers there, but I'll give you a score update on the Newman women's game. They are up now 55-53 with 2:48 to play, so we'll track that game as close as possible for you as we can, but we got a good one brewing here with 3:03 left and a 4-point advantage for the home Knights.
I'll tell you what, this is gonna be a good 3 minutes. I'm going to look for Monroe to really get going here offensively. He's kind of slowed up a little bit here in the second half. But
yeah, I was going to say, for the game, definitely not 22 and 11 for Monroe.
Not for the game, but in the second. I mean, first half he had, 17 points in the first half? I mean,
15, I think it was.
15, whatever.
So it's going to be Deshaun Lohman with it under 3 to play officially here. So Yard, up top Butler. They swing it over to Hudson. Bringing in a man-to-man here. Yard inside. Excellent play by J.R. Green.
Yeah, they got to feed him. You can't sit there and stare at Barnes. It gives the defense time to get set up the help defense. They got to feed him as soon as he's open.
Meanwhile, Monroe now guarded by Butler. Double. Back out. Bagwell over to the corner, over the head of Charity. Back to Newman.
Newman will definitely take that turnover.
So Hudson's going to walk it up. Still 75-71, 2:15 to play and counting.
I'll tell you what, someone might need to get Coach Rulo a new T-shirt over there. He's drenched.
Yard attacking and into a lot of Cabrini defenders, and that did not work out too well. So here comes Cabrini the other way. Under 2 minutes to play now.
A little bit of sloppy basketball here the last couple possessions for both teams.
Robinson trying to give it to Green. No one's there, though. Can't give it to him. Good defense. They go to Monroe now on the low block. Back it down Barnes. Monroe over to Charity. That time got that one. 6 to shoot. Robinson now trying to drive. Robinson over Butler. Too strong. Butler. And I think that went off the foot. And here we go. Look at this. I'm not sure about that. Unless Butler's foot was on that line, but I thought Butler hit that one right into the foot of Jair Green, but
yeah,
it's going to stay with Cabrini. 1:33 to play. Newman Lady Knights on top of Marywood 57-55 with 2:17 to play in that game.
Yeah, right around this 1:30 mark with the game this close, every possession matters now for both teams.
Bagwell. Step away jumper. Yes. Wow. Down to 2 with 1:25.
Cabrini better get back on defense here.
Lohman guarded far from the basket here. Bagwell drops it off. Butler. And that's not an advised shot he wants to take. So Rulo's going to call timeout with 15 seconds on that shot clock. 1:08 to play in this game, and this is a good one, Kai.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming down to crunch time. I think if I'm Coach Rulo in the huddle, I think I'm drawing up a play for Deshaun Lohman. I'm going to give him an ISO and do what he does best, get to the basket.
I agree. I would do that. Get him at the top. Have Barnes and Butler, down low.
Yep.
Drop it off to one of them.
Yep.
If he misses, you got 2 rebounders right there for you. And but you got to be careful. You got the 2 wing guys got to get back on defense.
The key at this point in the game, when you're up, it's high percentage shots. And when your competitive juices are flowing and the adrenaline of the game takes over, sometimes you do things you don't want to. But I think Deshaun Lohman, with the maturity and experience we've seen with him throughout the season, definitely going to see an isolation with Deshaun Lohman here.
Well, we'll see what Coach Rillo draws up. Meanwhile, the Newman women's team on top of Marywood, 60-57. 50 seconds to play in that game. And we'll try to keep you updated as much as possible in that game. Leading scorers in that game, Legler with 18 points, Aaliyah Hayes with 16, and Nafisa Saunders with 15. Metzger, 6 points in that game.
Wow.
13 rebounds, but that's a surprising one there.
Yeah, Johanna Metzger's had her final game in the Miranda Center a couple days ago. Capped off a phenomenal career here at home. Hopefully tonight they can pull it out.
On the men's side, Gwinnett Mercy on top of Rosemont, 37-23 with 3:40 left in that one. So if Gwinnett Mercy wins that game, again, the men's championship will be at Gwinnett Mercy on Saturday. Now, if Newman wins, it beats Marywood tonight, they're going to have to travel to Cabrini to play that championship game. A minute 8 to play. Let's see what they do here. And it's going to be Hudson running the point. 105 and counting, 75-73. And here is Deshaun Lohman, guarded by Darrell Bagwell. Lohman driving. Lohman, a lot of contact, a little too strong. There's Butler for the offensive rebound, and the tie-up is going to go to Cabrini. It's going to go to Cabrini, so 54.4 seconds. And now we got a timeout taken by Coach Tim McDonald of Cabrini, as he's going to want to draw something up.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to draw something up here. I don't know if they want to go for the three. I think they're going to feed Monroe down low.
You think that's where they're going to go?
Yeah,
to Monroe. So 75-73, a little game reset here. 75-73, 54.4 seconds left in this game. Newman with 10 fouls, Cabrini with 6. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. So what do you think they're going to do? Go to Monroe?
Yeah, I think you gotta feed them down low. You're going to go to the best player in the conference, arguably, and he's been killing it so far. I think you got to go down, with your best guns shooting. So I'm definitely feeding Monroe down low.
He's got 22 points, 11 rebounds in this game. Newman women's on top of Marywood, 60-57. 21 seconds left in that game. And 54 seconds left here. There's a good shot of the student section behind us.
Guys, Newman cannot foul here.
Yeah, that's another good point. If they commit a foul here, that's free throws for Cabrini. You definitely don't want to foul, but this game going to be physically ramped up here.
That's why we have Duncan for a reason.
That's going to be Monroe inbounding to Robinson.
Standing room only here.
So here we go. Bagwell, guarded by Barnes now far from the basket. Gets a step, finds Green. Green lost it. That went off the hand of a Newman player. 17 seconds to shoot. Plenty of time, and Jim Rullo wants to... Thought Bagwell stepped on the line. Blocked by Barnes. Ball's loose. Chase for it. Butler gets a timeout. 34 seconds. Newman ball. Great hustle by James Butler.
That's James Butler's MO. James Butler's MO right there. I mean, an absolute hustle player. I call him the Energizer Bunny all the time. And look at these guys behind us, absolutely getting fired up for this one.
So 34 seconds left on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock, obviously. If you're Cabrini, do you foul right away or do you try to trap?
That's a tough one.
Yep.
I think,
do you make this a free throw shooting contest?
It depends on who the ball gets inbounded to.
Now, remember, it's a 1-and-1 situation for Newman, so if they did miss even if they made both, it'd be a 2-possession game. If they made one, it's still a 1-possession game with the 3. You still have plenty of time left, technically speaking. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is.
It all depends on how your defensive strategy. If you're going to go for a trap, I'm going to say not foul. But you're going to foul, you got to foul right away because you got to conserve as much time as you can.
Yep, and you certainly don't want, if Newman breaks this press, which they're going to come out with, you don't want to give up an easy bucket on the other end.
No, not at all. And there's so many things that can go wrong or go right in this situation for any team.
61-58. Newman women's on top of Marywood with 18 seconds left in that game. So again here, 75-73. 34 seconds remain. It's going to be Newman ball in the inbounds as they're still in their huddle as the referees are trying to disperse them. We're in for a good finish here.
Yeah, we are. And the student section's letting Monroe hear it.
One of our camera person, Jenna Lucas, she actually called overtime before this game started. She said this game is definitely going to overtime. So she's got 34 seconds, and she might be right.
I
So
don't
here we
think
go.
any of us would be opposed to that.
They go to Barnes. Barnes
Wow,
hacked
yeah.
hard there by Charity.
Yeah,
Barnes will go to the free throw line. Good free throw shooter.
Yeah, but I struggled today a little bit from the line. I was definitely going to say if they inbounded the Barnes, definitely go with a foul.
Barnes today 1 for 2 at the line. Hasn't had many opportunities, but
I struggled, so I missed a couple jump shots from long too. So, and this whole Newman Knights team can shoot the free throws, but it's just basketball 101. You always foul the big man if you want him to shoot a free throw. This is a big one here.
Barnes at the line. A 1-and-1 situation here. 32 seconds remain. Left that short, and he got it to roll. It's a 3-point advantage. Meanwhile, Newman women's on top, 63-58 with 6 seconds left in that game. So if they hold on, they're going to Cabrini on Saturday for the championship. And could we have a double championship, really?
So Marywood 15-1 in the CSAC prior to that.
Barnes missed the second, so it's a 3-point game, 1 possession, 30 seconds. Cabrini has 1 timeout left. Here's Robinson. Do you go for 3? No, you don't. Green underneath. See bucket. And there's the final timeout taken by Coach Tim McDonald. So now a 1-point game.
That was a smart play. There was still too much time on the clock to settle for a 3-point shot. I think a little mislapse there with miscommunication with Hudson down low.
Yep, he was wide open.
Yeah, wide open.
76-75. Newman hanging on here. Full timeout taken by Coach Tim McDonald. 24.8 seconds. And that's it for timeouts. Neither one of them have timeouts.
Yeah, and that's the most frustrating thing as a coach, knowing that you've built up to this point our season, and now you don't even have any timeouts left. You just got to trust your players and, hope that you did your best,
One of these two teams will be going home tonight. Newman on top by 1, 24 seconds. Meanwhile, the Newman women's team has clinched a championship spot.
I could not be happier for the 2 senior captains, and Johanna Metzger and Sarah Roberts. Both had phenomenal careers here at Newman. It would be something, knowing them both personally to cap off their careers with a CSAC championship.
63-58 was that final score. Leading scorer Lauren Legler in that game. Aaliyah Hayes as well contributed 16. Nafisa Saunders had 15 as well. That's awesome for them to go to the
And I'll tell you what, that's going to make that 3.5-hour drive back from Marywood a lot easier.
We've done that drive a few times.
We have.
It is a hike up there. So they're going to go to Cabrini on Saturday and play in that championship game. Gwinnett Mercy right now will give you a score update there. They're on top of Rosemont. They've closed that deficit a little bit. 41-28. They're down 13, Rosemont. Gwinnett Mercy on top with 28 seconds left in the first half in that game. So if Gwinnett Mercy wins that game and they win the second half, the winner of this game will travel to Gwinnett Mercy on Saturday for the championship. And the women's side has already set. Cabrini will take on Newman at Cabrini for the women's side.
Right.
Gotta love the playoffs.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
The inbound to Butler, and Butler is fouled.
See, I'm really surprised that they would give that ball to Butler there.
And we'll see. Butler today at the line. He's 4 for 7, shooting 57% at the line today. He's made the most free throws on the team thus far.
I'm really surprised that they didn't just kind of hand it off to Deshaun right there, just to let him. Great free throw shooter, and I'm surprised Yard wasn't in the game for.
He's the best free throw shooter.
Yeah,
Yard just checked into the game now. He shoots at 78% for the team, and he's the best on the team. Kevin Green is 76%, and he just went off for him. Surprised you think they'd have both of them in there.
Right.
Butler at the line, 1-on-1 situation, missed it. Can Barnes get there? I think it was tipped by Monroe. It was. So 21 seconds. Newman will have another shot at it.
All right, well, let's see what they do here. I'm gonna guess that James Butler's not gonna get the ball again. Yep.
Loman now playing keep away. Henry chasing, and the foul. 17 seconds, 76-75.
Little ring around the rosy there.
He's hard to catch.
76-75.
Little duck goose action going on here in the Miranda Center. Now, if I'm Cabrini, you're still in a good place here.
Yeah. Even if he makes both, it's 3-point game. Right.
Now, if he makes one, the interesting thing is.
I go right to the rim.
I'd agree with you on that.
Loman missed it. Tipped. Can Barnes get there? He can't. It's Bagwell. Here we go. No timeouts. 13 seconds and 12. It's Robinson. Robinson driving. He lost it. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by Butler. What do we got here? We got a tie-up. We do. It's going to go to Newman. But hold on. Did he call timeout? If he called timeout, this is a technical foul. And we're going to get a discussion here. If he called timeout, we got a technical foul, and Cabrini's going to shoot free throws with 7 seconds. And it's going to be free throws, I believe. It's going to be.
Wow.
Tough to tell what the call is here. They're still discussing. So you either got a foul on Cabrini, you got a tie-up, or you got a technical foul on Butler if he called timeout. I don't think that's what he did.
Right, yeah, this is one of those times,
I didn't see him do it.
We talked about, instant replay would be huge. Don't have that capability.
So we'll try to figure out what's going on for you, but
might get a little Chris Webber action.
I really hope we don't get that.
That would be a shame, but
yeah, this could decide the game right here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're refs, you got to be 100% sure that you saw him go for that timeout.
There's about 800 pairs of eyes on the 3 officials right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this place might not be too happy if we end up with a technical foul.
I think at this point they would have ruled timeout. I think they're trying to decide jump ball or timeout, how much time's on the clock. And now we're going to have a discussion between coaches here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but and we got Coach Tim McDonald. He seems to be pretty upset there, Kai. And Coach McDonald's got to be very careful not to get a technical foul himself. So let's see. He doesn't seem to be too happy. So this is either going to be a foul on Cabrini. I'm assuming it's going to be a foul on Cabrini. Let's see here what the call is. And now they're going to come back again.
You got to wonder what's going on.
I'll tell you what, this is suspenseful.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
As you see the frustration continue for Coach McDonald.
And James Butler firing up the student section.
Coach Rulo wants Butler to come back to the huddle. So we're going to have more discussion continuing. Do you think they might try to get a, do you think they might be discussing a flagrant foul if he got hit in the head with an elbow?
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going with here.
Let's see here. Everyone's coming down the other end of the floor away from a Newman free throw, so I think it's going to be Newman's ball. I think that's what they decided. Jump ball. So that's what it was. Jump ball, Newman's ball. So here we go. Newman's ball with 7 seconds left. 76-75 they lead. They got to get it in.
Well, they got to be careful here on the inbound.
You got to get it to anybody at this point. Do they? Off the hands of look like Robinson.
The clock didn't even move here, so
yeah, there's got to be at least a second off that clock. And now we're going to have more discussion for the time here.
I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a suspenseful game. Wow. So I want to say they have to at least take a second off.
At least.
If I'm correct on that.
If somebody touches it, the clock has to start. They might take a half a second off, so let's see what they do here.
I think they're leaving it.
Well, they're going to leave 7 seconds on the clock. Retrial here. Let's see if they go home run ball. You got to watch out here. To Barnes. The football pass to Barnes. Barnes is fouled. Oh! They called no foul, and Barnes threw it out of bounds.
No foul. Wow. Hold on.
Barnes was held up. He was. Duncan, I know you couldn't get a view from that, but we had a perfect angle here. He was held up pretty good, but apparently he threw that ball out of bounds. So it's Cabrini's ball with 2 seconds left. Here we go, 2.8 seconds, 76-75. The inbounds pass, Monroe down to 1. Monroe from half court. No! And Newman will advance to the CSAC championship.
Wow. How about this? How about this? This is something we have not seen here at Newman. Unbelievable. An unbelievable win for the Knights. How about that? You know, your heart goes out to the Cabrini players and fans and coaches for a great season.
76-75. The final score, Newman on top of Cabrini in the semifinal. And they're going to advance to the championship game to play either Gwinnett Mercy or Rosemont. That game is at halftime. Gwinnett Mercy up 13 on Rosemont, 41-28 at that half. And we, unfortunately, we can't keep you updated with that score throughout the night, so you have to pay attention to that one.
Right. I mean, what an unbelievable win. Awesome win for the Newman Knights. I mean, this was unbelievable.
That was a suspenseful.
And I mean, the fans are still going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is awesome. I mean, I'm speechless. You know, I'm so happy for, Coach Lulo and all the basketball players on that team. I mean, this was unbelievable.
Excellent game played by both teams. Really, it really was a good game.
And I think it really came down to Newman defensively. I mean, they really stepped it up today defensively. I mean, this was unbelievable.
All right, so we're gonna go over to Duncan Ballara over now. I think he's got Deshaun Lohman. So we're going to go to Duncan right now. So Duncan with Deshaun. Go ahead, Duncan.
Take us through those last couple seconds, man. What was going on?
Basically, at the end of the game, they started getting come back in the game. It got close. We had to make free throws. We were missing a couple. We finished out the game strong. I threw it down to Barnes. Ran time off the clock. He didn't get the foul, but we just got a defensive stop at the end of the game to win it.
The atmosphere here was unbelievable. How do you guys feed from that and play like that?
It makes you play harder. The more the crowd gets into it, the more the players gets into it. It just basically made us go harder. We wanted to win it for the fans, and we wanted to go to the CSAC championship and get another title.
Exactly. You guys are going to the championship.
Yes, sir.
How do you prepare for that? How do you get your mind right and the team together? And
Just get everybody focused. We got a lot of newcomers on the team. Basically, we want to go out there and show them what it takes to win another CSAC championship, and just basically everybody enjoy it. Just enjoy the moment, get in the game, and once we see winning on Saturday, it'll be a great game.
all right, man. Congratulations again. Back to you guys.
So final score again, 76-75. Newman on
Right.
top of Cabrini. And Newman, I think their biggest lead at one point was 17.
Yeah.
And I told you Cabrini was going to come back
You
and
did
cut
call
it,
it.
cut
You-
it down to at least a two-possession game.
You did
They
call
got
it.
within one, just could not quite get there. But man, that was intense.
I mean, that was, I just touched on a personal level, just for our last game.
Oh yeah.
Doing as a duo. I mean, what a better way to end our career here at Newman announcing than that. I mean, this is a great game on both ends. And, like we said, congrats to Newman. And looking ahead now, whoever wins this Gwinnett and
Rosemont game.
game, I think Newman's going to looks pretty
I
positive
think
to get
that
another
coming
championship.
after this win, that's an emotional win. That's a big
Yeah.
win for them. And leading scores for Newman, Barnes had 22 points, 14 rebounds, another double-double. Butler had 18, Lohman had 16. And, Taheem Monroe, he was an absolute force.
Oh, I mean, at 22 points, I mean, by no means was an off night for him. And I think I'm most impressed with about him was he kept his poise down the stretch. We saw a lot of the Cabrini players starting to jaw off, especially right here with this dispute we had here over a foul or ended up being a jump ball. But, he's really poised and composed, and nothing but respect for Taheem.
Yeah, but I think the biggest difference in that game, field goal percentage. Newman shot 55% from the field, which is very good. Cabrini, 44%, and three-pointers.
Right.
Cabrini, 5 for 18. Not terrible, but not very good either.
Well, I mean, like we said, the game we just did last week with these two teams, if Cabrini played the way they did, this game wouldn't even been close.
No.
They shot 13 threes that game. It was unbelievable.
Yep, unbelievable. Again, there you see on your screen the final score, 76-75. That is incorrect. Newman did win that game 76-75. But Newman is going to go back to the CSAC championship, and they have a chance to repeat as champions for the first time in school history.
And, I think that, you love to say, it's all about the players, but you got to give some props to Coach Rulo. Really came in and took this program by the horns. It's been to the playoffs in, 4 years in a row?
This is his third season.
3 years in a row. I mean, and he might get his second CSAC championship in 2 years.
Yep. Excellent job. Again, we want to thank you for watching the NSN broadcast, and to everybody at the crew of the NSN, the camera operators, sideline reporters, and everybody up in the booth, and always my partner Kai Williams. The last game you're going to do.
One last time, buddy. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. So again, this championship game will be on Saturday. Right now, Gwinnett Mercy on top of Rosemont, 41-28. So if they do hold on to win that game, Newman is going to travel to Gwinnett Mercy for that championship game. And on the women's side, in the CSAC playoffs, the Newman University women's basketball team, they ended up going to the championship game, defeating Marywood tonight, 63-58, and they're going to go to Cabrini to play them in the championship game. So, again, everybody, 76-75, the final score. Newman on top. Again, we want to thank you for watching. Good night.